A very good morning, children. Today I am going to start a new lesson from your first flight textbook, that is lesson 3, two stories about flying. In this there are two parts, as you can see. First is His First Flight by Liam O'Flaherty, and the second part is Black Aeroplane by Frederick Fawcett. So today let me start the first part, His First Flight. Let me introduce little bit about it. His First Flight, it's a beautiful description of how a young seagull overcomes his fear of flying. The seagull, it means the sea bird, okay? And here the young seagull is quite timid and fears of falling in his attempt to fly. But let us go through the lesson and find out whether he overcomes the fear or what happens at the end of this lesson. Okay, so before you read, coming to the lesson, the process, children, I will be reading the paragraphs, okay, one by one, and I will be discussing the difficult word meanings and then explaining you the lesson. So be with me and try to understand it thoroughly. So look in the book now. Before you read, since the earliest times humans have dreamt of conquering the skies. Here are two stories about flying. Conquering means to overcome or to win. Okay, so to win the skies, to have control over the sky over there. So here are the two stories. The first one is a young seagull is afraid to fly. How does he conquer his fear? How does he overcome his fear? We will come to know, okay? And the second part, we will discuss afterwards when we will be starting the second part. The first part, his first flight. Now, I am reading and please be with me now. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew away, he failed to muster up courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. So what we understood, children, here? Let's little bit discuss the word meanings over here. First word is ledge. You can see the meaning: a narrow horizontal shelf projecting from a wall or a cliff. Okay, it is a shelf there, which either it projects out from the wall or a cliff over here. Okay, so what is cliff? It is a steep rock having the edge, that is the cliff. Okay, and what else? Brink, one word is there, it means edge. Okay, so the young seagull was alone on his ledge. Ledge means, as we came to know, it is a narrow horizontal shelf. So a sea bird was quite young, okay, very small baby. He was alone on his ledge, and his two brothers, he had two brothers and one sister, who had already flown away the day before. Okay, though they all were of the same age, but his brothers and his sister, they already started flying just a day before. And this seagull, he was very much afraid to fly with them. Okay, as I told you, he was a timid one, fearful. Okay, and somehow when he had taken a little run forward, so before flying a little bit they have to run. So when he started taking little run to the brink, I told you, to the edge of that horizontal shelf. Okay, and when he attempted means when he tried to flap his wings. Flap means to move the wings up and down, as we have seen the birds doing for flying. So when he tried to move the wings up and down, he again became afraid that whether he would be able to fly or not. Okay, so the great expanse means, as you know, the sea, it's very vast, expanded one. So it was really too expanded, huge sea stretched down beneath. When he tried to look down, he could see the expansion of the sea to the miles and miles. Okay, and it made him more fearful. Okay, and he felt certain that now he was very sure that his wings would never support him. He was getting too much sure of his unsuccessfulness in flying. How? He thought that his wings will never support him to fly. Okay, so what he did? Just he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole. He was going to try to fly, but seeing the vast sea below, okay, which was miles and miles just long, so he was sure that his wings won't support him, he won't be able to fly. He just bent down his head again, that shows his nervousness, and he ran back to that little hole under the ledge, okay, where he used to sleep at night. Even when each of all his brothers and his sister, those whose wings were little bit more shorter than his own, okay, their wings were more shorter, still they ran to the brink. They used to run towards the edge. Okay, and what they used to do, they flapped their wings, they started moving their wings up and down, and they started flying high up in the sky. But this seagull, the young chick, he failed to muster up the courage. Okay, muster up means to gather the courage. He couldn't gather up the courage to take the plunge. Plunge means to dive. Okay, to dive. In the swimming pool, what you do? To dive. You have to dive in the pool to swim. That is here the seagull, the seabird. He too had to gather the courage to dive, which appeared to him so desperate. Desperate means hopeless. But this seagull, he was feeling so nervous, so hopeless. Okay, because can you give the reason, children? Yeah, he lacked self-confidence. He was not confident enough that he would be able to fly. He would be able to flap his wings. So he was getting too much nervous, and he couldn't get that much courage, self-confidence that he could do that. Okay. His father and mother had come around calling to him shrilly. Shrilly means sharply. Upbraiding. Upbraiding means scolding him, rebuking him. Okay. Sometimes you children also feel the same situation when you give up, that I can't do. Your parents also used to scold sometimes little bit, that why you can't do, you have to do it, isn't it? In the same way here, the seagull's parents, his mother and his father, they were sharply, in a louder voice, they were scolding him, and they were even threatening him, giving a threat. Okay, threatening him to let him starve on his ledge. Means they were telling that if you won't fly, really you will die of hunger over here. So you have to just try your best, and unless he flew away, he won't be able to find any food. You also know, children, all the birds, they find their own food. They have to go. Parents don't bring for them. Okay, it's if they were very small. But here we came to know that his brothers and his sister were able to fly, and they could easily get their food. But this bird, he was lacking confidence, he was very nervous, and so his parents scolded him to fly and just find out the food so that you can live. Otherwise, you will die of hunger. But for the life of him, he could not move. But here the seagull, he loved his life very much, and he thought that if he would fly, he would die, he would fall down, and that's why he couldn't move from his place. Coming to the next para. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. He had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it, standing on a rock while his parents circled around raising a proud cackle. And all the morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his coward eyes. So now what happens over here? Now it was already 24 hours ago, means one day has passed, that the seagull, he had nothing to eat because he didn't fly, he didn't move from his place to get his food. Okay, and from last one day, since then nobody had come near him. Now everyone, they were busy in their own life, they left him alone. And the day before, all day long, just that day before, okay, the whole day he was simply watching, sitting on that cliff. What he was watching, that his parents, they were flying along with his brothers and sister. For what purpose? For perfecting, to make them perfect in the art of flying. Okay, parents obviously in the beginning they support a lot, but the first step is to be taken by the children. Then only the parents can push you from back and support you for what you do. Okay, so here also his brothers and sister, they took their efforts to fly, and the parents were teaching them, okay, making them perfect in the art of flying. And what they were teaching, how to skim the waves. Skim means move lightly over an area above the surface, that is skimming. So how to move very smoothly above the surface, and how to dive for fish. Dive means plunge, to get into water to catch the fish. Okay, the seabirds, their food is obviously the fish, so how to catch the fish. Now he had in fact seen his older brother. He was watching, quietly sitting near his place, near the hole on the cliff. He was going on watching his older brother, okay, the elder brother, how perfectly he was catching his first herring. Herring is a soft finned sea fish, okay, and devour it. Devour means eat at a greater speed. Okay, he already had caught the soft finned fish, and already he had started eating the fish also. Standing on a rock, the brother was standing on a rock. He caught his own fish and he was eating, while his parents circled around raising a proud cackle. And seeing this, the parents also got very happy that that seagull's brother was able to catch the fish. Proud cackle. Cackle means that is a sound, okay, made by the seabirds. So they were making the sound that shows their happiness when one of the seagull's brother caught the fish. And all the morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his coward eyes. And what they were doing now, all the whole day, the morning, whole family, two brothers, sister, and his mother and father, they were just walking on the big plateau. Plateau is a plain area only there, okay, near the sea, and they were just walking about there on the plateau down the opposite cliff towards the rock, and they were taunting him with his coward eyes. Taunting means jeering. Taunts, sometimes your friends taunts you, okay, when you're not able to do anything, so that is taunting. Coward eyes means lack of courage. So everyone was taunting him for his lack of courage. They wanted, okay, why they were doing so, though they were all his family members. Yeah, better you understood here that they all were concerned for this seagull, because they knew if he won't be able to fly, how he would be able to get his food, and without food obviously he is going to die, okay. Every day no one is going to bring food for him, so they all were very much concerned for this seagull, and that's why they wanted to encourage him, okay. So they were quite strict for this, okay. So they wanted him to take little effort and try to get his own food. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. Now, the sun was now ascending. Ascending means rising higher. In maths, you are learning now ascending and descending order. So, ascending is to rise higher. The sun was now higher up in the sky, blazing, shining with great heat, okay, and the heat was directly falling on his ledge that faced the south, that was towards the south direction, the ledge where he was sitting. And he felt the heat because he had not eaten. And now from last 24 hours we came to know in the beginning itself that it was one day over that he hadn't got anything to eat, okay. So now he was feeling too much uneasy, and because of this excessive heat over him, and since the previous nightfall he had not eaten anything. Next para, he stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge, and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other. Now what the seagull did? He stepped slowly out. Okay, he came out, he moved out slowly to the brink of the ledge, to the edge of that ledge, okay, where he was sitting. And what he did? He stood on one of his leg, and another leg he just hid under his wing. Now he was standing only on his one leg, hiding the another one under his wing, and he just closed one eye, and then he closed again the another. Can you guess, children, what was this he doing? Yeah, he was trying to pretend, that he was just pretending to show his parents that now he was getting sick and he was getting unconscious. So he was trying to just close his eyes so that his parents may feel pity on him and provide him some food, okay. So he pretended to do all such things because he had no confidence on himself that he could catch his own prey, and pretended to be falling asleep. And what he was pretending, that he was going to feel asleep, okay, because of hunger he was getting unconscious. That way he wanted to show, so that they may take pity on him. Still they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way! scraping his beak now and again to wet it. So now we came to know that how he was pretending to be as asleep, and then still the parents, they didn't notice him at all. They were not bothering about him at all. Now that whatever you want to do, you do. Then what else? He saw his two brothers and his sister. They were lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads. Okay, dozing means feeling sleepy. They were sleeping nicely with their heads sunk into their necks. Okay, so they were keeping their necks down and they were nicely taking sleep. And what the father was doing, the father was preening the feathers. Preening means to make an effort to maintain the feathers. Okay, to smoothen the feathers. He was just smoothing his feathers with his own beak. The father was busy doing that, and only the mother was looking at him. The mother was more concerned for her child, so she was continuously looking at him. And not only she was simply standing there, what she was doing, she was standing on a little high hump on the plateau. Hump is the high place, okay, of that plain ground. There was little high place over there where she was standing, and her breast was just seen, okay, forward. And now and again what she was doing, again and again she was going on tearing the pieces of fish that was laying near her feet. She would have catch the fish and she was tearing, okay, into small pieces, and then scrapped means what she was doing, rubbing each side of her beak on the rock. So as you also know how hard is fish, okay, to be cut. So to just sharpen her beak, okay, she was rubbing her beak on the rock, and she was going on tearing the fish into pieces. Seeing this, the pieces of the fish in front of the seagull, she got maddened. Okay, she was going mad out of hunger now. So how he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. Wet it means to sharpen. Okay, so here seeing that tearing of the fish into pieces, the seagull got mad out of hunger, and she too wanted to do the same. She too wanted to sharp the teeth, her beak, okay, and to tear the fish. She wanted to do that, the little seagull. Now, ga ga ga, he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Ga koala, she screamed back derisively. But he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to him with it. So what happened now? Ga 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 means just expression is given over the birds in the language how they call. So the little seagull, she was just calling, okay, his mother, saying ga 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 means to bring the food near to him. He was getting mad out of hunger, so he was calling his mother to bring some food for him. But what the mother replied, ga kala, means she wanted to say that he was a stupid one. She screamed back derisively. Derisively means in a manner showing someone that he or she is a stupid. So in that language she was replying that she screamed. Screamed means she cried in a louder voice, that showing that really you are a stupid one. You can't do anything. You don't want to do anything. Likewise, she just wanted to again taunt him. But he kept calling plaintively. Plaintively means sorrowfully. Okay, in a very hopelessly, in a sorrowful way. He just was going on calling plaintively, sorrowfully, and after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. See, in the same line it was said, at first he was quite very sorrowful, so sad, and just after a minute, he uttered a joyful scream, means he spoke out something again in a very happy voice. So why he was very happy now? Because his mother, he saw his mother, okay, had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to him with it. And just when he saw that, his mother, we came to know that the mother was tearing the fish into pieces, isn't it? So now he saw that his mother had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to him, means coming towards him with a piece of fish in her beak. He leaned out. Leaned out means he just bent out eagerly. He was so curious to get that food. Tapping the rock with his feet means he was beating on the rock, means so eagerness is being shown here of that seagull who was hungry from last 24 hours, okay, and trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. So this seagull, a young seagull, little one, he was just tapping, beating lightly on the rock with his feet, and he was just trying to move closer to his mother as she was coming towards him holding a piece of fish in her beak. So children, let's stop over here. We will continue in the next class. Till then, goodbye.